Welcome back to DAP Build. Today I'm doing a small review on the MaxPeedingRods Coilovers that I installed quite some time ago. If you're new to the channel and would like to catch up, please do watch the Beetle's introduction video. There is also individual videos of each day I've actually done working on this car. Within my channel there are other playlists including interests, other builds and other people's builds. If you'd like to consider subscribing, I do appreciate it. So if you're new to the channel, I do invite you to like, subscribe and check the notification bell just so you can keep updated with everything going on. But moving back on to the actual bugs. So some time ago, as mentioned, I did install the MaxPeedingRods Coilovers, the cheapest set of coilovers you could find pretty much anywhere on the net for, now this is the factor of it, I had discounts, I bartered the price down as well, they had an offer option at the time. So the price that I actually bought the coilovers for at the time was 250 AUD, which is mind-blogglingly cheap. Blogglingly, yeah, it's that word. It was more or less a quarter of the price of the car, and the fact was that the existing suspension was completely shagged. The rear end was just dropping at every single instance. The shocks were dead, the springs were extremely spongy, being 400,000 kilometers old, nearly. I'm still not there yet, I will get there. And the front end was just jostling around way too much. Great for comfort mode, but not really for handling mode and not exactly for what I want to do with the car. So, with that being the case, saw these online, they were better than nothing at all. And realistically, for the price of two good quality rear shock absorbers, not saying the MaxPeedingRods aren't good quality, but they are a cheap brand. They're not your BC Racing coilovers, all that sort of thing. They're an entry model sort of affair. But for me, they were the perfect alternative compared to either replacing all of the actual shocks, all the springs separately, which to be honest, I may do in the future regardless. The ride is firm, but it's probably going to be as firm with any other brand out there. So they haven't been too bad in the grand scheme of things. One thing that I did find a little odd was that that's actually the lowest setting on the rear. I could not go any lower. So, I mean, it's fine. It's actually a nice height for what I want, but it's just a little weird that I couldn't actually go any further onto the ground compared to that, apart from maybe removing the, I don't know what you actually call it, the adjuster piece at the rear end. That would probably give me another maybe quarter inch, perhaps. The front end, I had that dropped on its belly. It was drive shafts on the rails. So, yeah, it wasn't great. I did do a bit of a summary at the end of the installation video. Just glossed over the fact that I didn't do the wheel nuts up at the very end. There's that. But the car survived, and I do have a new panel to go on for the quarter, so there is that coming in the future as well. But what I'm going to do today is actually take this out on a lovely medium S road and just do a bit of vibration testing. I've got an app on my phone whereby we'll be measuring just how much vibration is actually felt through the car. It's not really going to give me a scale of anything because I've got nothing to compare it against. I didn't do this before I changed the suspension. I'm doing well, and of course, yeah, I don't have any stats on a stock version of these with this app, so we're just going to play it by this at the moment, and in the future I'll actually do other adjustments here and there. I will actually do a bit of comparison to other cars. So the Abarth for one, the daily $500 Beta is another one, which I'll chuck it in there as well and just do a bit of a test as well and just see what it comes up with. Enough of me rambling on, let's get to this medium S road. The S stands for surely this road is okay, so we're cruising at 80 now, so we'll see how it is. The suspension, though it is much better in terms of general handling, it is a lot more stiffer compared to what it was originally, and the original suspension was completely blown, so there's that. But this is a definite step up, and compared to the Abarth now, which I've got as a daily driver, I'd say this is a little bit firmer compared to the Abarth, so not overly bad, but by the same account, it's not a comforting ride. I don't really want to be taking this on long cruises, not in this setup anyway. So far so good, nothing dramatic going on the screen, but we are in the early stages. It gets a lot worse very shortly from here, so got a nice little bend coming up. I was going to have a GoPro on the outside of the car, and I did mount it, drove about 50 meters, and then nearly lost the camera. So there we go. Yeah, I decided to remove that out of the equation because I didn't really want to be down one camera, or perhaps have it come off at a great spontaneous time and take out someone's front grille, or bounce up and do worse than that. So it came off the car quick smart. It's still not too bad. I mean, yep, it's going to get worse though. One thing, being in the actual driver's seat though, it's not too bad because this cushion, this seat cushion, is actually quite bouncy, so you don't tend to feel a great deal of jolts and shocks through the actual seat. And one other thing which I'll briefly say is that this is riding on 55 profile tyres on 16-inch wheels, so there is quite a bit of rubber for cushion there, so there's that as well. With narrower, or shorter tyres I should say, not narrower, shorter tyres, that will make quite a difference. 205, yeah, no, 205, 55, 16s, so 55 is the height. Okay, so we're nearly at the end. The worst, 6.17. That pretty much tells us nothing at this point in time because we've got no point of reference. This is just doing it in this car. But I will do some other comparisons once more with this car a little later on for reasons you'll find out soon enough. And beyond that, I'll put it in the Abarth and the daily beater otherwise. So yeah, just gives us a bit of an idea what really soft suspension can do and what generally firm sport suspension can do as well. So all in all, not bad. I mean, yes, it does give a bit more of a jolt through the cabin, the squeaks and sound and so on, quite up there, but realistically it's manageable. I don't mind them, to be honest. They're, again, entry model coilovers, but they do the job quite well. The $500 Mercedes-Benz A160 came in at a whopping 4.09. The Abarth 595 competition came in at a maximum of 5.46, and the Bug topping out at a whopping 6.17. So yes, the coilovers do make quite the difference. Future reliability factor, question mark. I have only put maybe 1,000 kilometers on these things, if even. So I've got really no comparison, no real insight as to just how good they are long term. Eventually though, this thing will be put through its paces, including the suspension. So stay tuned for that one. That'll be another inclusion a lot further down the track. I've still got a fair bit of stuff to do to this car before we're even at that point in time. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. I don't know, was it entertaining? If so, please do hit that thumb. If not, please don't hit that downwards thumb, please. Please don't. No, other one. The thumb, yeah, that one. Excellent. Okay, so that's enough of me rambling on. So, as always, like, subscribe, comment below, etc. This has been Dat Build. Now, get back to your build. Until next time, cheers.